Good morning, everyone, and how are you doing on this really beautiful Tuesday morning? So yesterday was kind of interesting, wasn't it? Kind of explored the topics of perhaps finding our own freedom and reclaiming it. And we can reclaim it from wherever we wish. We can reclaim it from ourselves. Sometimes we're our own worst enemies. We stand in our own way. We put ourselves into these little modes where we're constantly running and going and doing, and for what exactly? Things that aren't making us happy? Things that aren't really liberating us? I think not. Today I think it's going to be a little different. Hopefully you found that sense of self-love, and if you haven't, explore it a bit. It's okay to be a little selfish. You have to take care of yourself and put on your own oxygen mask before you can help someone else. Isn't that right? So, let's get down to it. Let's see who our guide is today. And we're drawing the 9 worlds. Well, we know that Yggdrasil holds the 9 worlds. Now, we're being guided by all 9 of them. So, you know, it would probably help if I had my glasses on. Let me grab those. I'm pretty sure I just placed them somewhere. And I have no idea where I placed them. Well, that's not good. What the hell with it? In the interest of time here, it would help if I had them. Not exactly sure where I put them though. I'll find them sooner or later, probably after this reading. Gonna need them for the editing. But we are gonna do this one taken uncut, so let's do this. So with the 9 worlds, everything's connected. And yesterday, Yggdrasil was there to remind us that we were part of something much larger than ourselves. And in that, we had to understand that when we're faced with something bigger than ourselves, it's a good idea to take in the bigger picture. Now we're going to see how everything is connected today. And today is a good day to join in with others. Work toward a common goal, whatever that common goal is. Find those that are like-minded and work toward it. And let's see who that spirit animal is. We have a flamingo spirit. And it says embrace the in-between. Which, I'm going to consult the book on this one, but I'm going to take a wild stab here and make a bold prediction that it means you're going to have to be a little reasonable. This can't be one extreme or the other. It has to be somewhere kind of in the middle. We're going to have to see some common ground here. And one of the best ways I find to find common ground with others is I will usually ask, what music do you like? Most times I can get a definitive answer. Someone will say, oh, you know what, I'm into classical music. Do you like violin? Have you ever tried Lindsey Sterling or Taylor Davis? Check them out. I think you'll like them. And then from there we have a common. We can stand on that common ground. From there we can explore other things that we may have in common. And when we reach a point of contention, we're able to discuss it without getting nasty at each other. So I'm thinking that's what that flamingo spirit is talking about today. Because if everything's connected, then obviously we're going to have to find common ground. And I think we can do that. I know you can. you're here, you're watching this channel for whatever reason. So obviously we have a common ground somewhere, and that's a great way forward. So let's see what we have here. It says, balance comes easily to the flamingo spirit who sees what was and what will be and stands strong in the face of uncertainty. We're still faced with some uncertainty, people. You could be informed by what came before and plan for a future yet to be, but do not resist flamingo spirit's call to be fully present in the now, where the real magic happens. With 1 foot in life, you are moving away from, and 1 foot in the future as you become the one who leads the life of your highest intentions. You must make peace with the fact that you are not fully in either place. Embrace the in-between. The presence of flamingo spirit is also a sign that your creativity is arising within you and opportunities are beginning to present themselves. Remain here in a balanced state of mind, for there is much to know and learn before going forward with new plans. You can trust this moment and yourself as you take in what you see and become aware of all that you are experiencing in this in-between time. Like I said, not one extreme or the other. Right there in the middle. Be present in the here and now. That makes a lot of sense. And remember that the things you do may negatively affect others. The things that you do may positively affect others. Just be aware of which one is which. And try not to disadvantage someone to advantage another. Try to make that your approach a little more even. So, let's get down to the tarot, shall we? So today we have the Hangman, the Five of Swords, and the Tower. There you go. I've got cards ready to come off the top again. I have no idea why. So the Hangman, I can tell you, this one denotes some self-sacrifice. But that Five of Swords is what kind of worries me, because the self-sacrifice that you perform might be a little great. And on top of that, that Tower is there. The Tower, we got more court cards than not. On that Tower, that's everything kind of burning down. But let's see here, am I right? We do have some sacrifice, some self-sacrifice, some self-awareness here. Let me have just one more look at something real quick, because I just want to see if I'm right. Okay, it looks like I'm right. This spread today is your warning. It's a big one too. Okay. With the Hangman here, you were looking at a lot of self-sacrifice, and this is what's going to get you into trouble, because when you're paired with this is you giving everything, you're throwing everything you have at it, and then what it ends with is some betrayal and disillusion. I hate to tell you that, but that's fact. Sometimes the good news is, sometimes the news is not always good. Sometimes the outlook is not always good. Here's the good news. You're going to come out of that a lot wiser. Remember, Odin hung himself from the world tree to look down into the well of weird until the runes surfaced. And then when he fell, he took up the runes screaming. But there he gained some wisdom. That Five of Swords, that's the one where you're really kind of throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at it. And This can result in defeat, it can result in dishonor, or maybe you win. This can indicate some type of winning, but it's going to be a Pyrrhic victory. You've thrown everything you have at it. You sacrificed everything to win the battle, but the war is far from over. And then with this, the good news behind this card is that no matter how many times this card comes up, everything's going to burn, the whole structure's coming down. You are still left with the foundation. You're still left with revelation. You're going to notice things, imperfections that were not noticeable before. And you can rebuild. So today I'm looking at don't overextend yourself is what I'm getting from that. So from Starseed we're getting Forge, Don't Follow. Wow, didn't see that coming. Perspective and Messenger. And already I'm completely unsurprised by how this is going. Forge, Don't Follow. You need to be the leader that you wish you had. Okay, that's the simplest message I can give you for that. Perspective is showing you something too. Look how tiny that thing is. But it tells you that none of this matters. You're going to have to zoom out, and it says common ground. I know right now people are absolutely going nuts. They're going nuts over many different things. Social media is just polluted with it right now. There are people who want rules for social media, and they're so happy when those rules are applied to those that they disagree with, but when it applies to them, suddenly they panic. Right now there are people who they want one thing for themselves, but they don't think anybody else should have them. That is not the way to go. That doesn't help you. It doesn't help you, it doesn't help anyone else. And then finally, Messenger, Serious Energy. That's the star, by the way. Bringing harmony and balance. Everything in this has shown you need to take some bigger picture into account. But so far, while Perspective and I want to say the Hangman here are pointing toward the 9 worlds, Forge, Don't Follow, the Hangman and the 9 worlds line up, 5 of Swords and Perspective line up, and then the Messenger, the Tower, and the Flamingo are lining up. Honestly, this is probably one of the most intense spreads I've done so far, and it's all making a lot of sense. And let's see about that Messenger. I really want to get to know that card just a touch more. It says, you are being called to bring about this balance and harmony between the masculine and feminine, to be a guardian of harmony and balance on Earth. Think of the whales traveling around the globe, sharing love through their healing vibrational song. Their unique notes send balance and harmony to every corner of the planet. A rebalancing of the masculine and feminine is occurring worldwide. It's a resurgence of the sacred within us all, a returning of the sacred union within, a rekindling of heaven and earth. You can begin to bring harmony and balance by creating it in your own life. The ripples will flow from there. You can honor and balance the sacred masculine and feminine energies within yourself and others. We all have 2 sides to ourselves. And it's time for us to kind of balance it out. I'm looking at this as sometimes you're going to just have to adopt a live and let live policy. You don't have to like certain things. You don't have to care about certain things. But sometimes you have to say something like, I disagree with you, but I defend to the death your right to say it. Sometimes we have to do that. because we have to zoom out, we have to look at the bigger picture. If I tell this person he can't say that, he or she is not allowed to disagree with me, what am I really saying? I'm saying that that person's gift of liberty to say something doesn't matter. And eventually, even my own won't matter. Just a thought. So let's go to the runes, find out what secrets the 9 worlds have for us today. We have Awaz, Rideho, and Laguz. I can tell you those first runes are about motion, especially Awaz here, because it's representative of a horse. These two together, definitely forward momentum. And then that Laguz, that literally means lake. So, just grab a bit of tea here. My throat's getting dry as hell. Nothing like the early morning hours. So are we moving forward? I can tell you this. It's probably better time to open yourself up to and working with the rhythms of the natural world. And of course, with this card, it's when I put these two cards together, that one means it's time to start taking speedy action. While Rideho lets you know that the journey is more important than the destination. Hop on your horse, take the road. And then Laguz is a fun one. That one's come up a time or two here. This is one where you're not pushing anything forward, you're not forcing any issues. This is where your balance is coming from, right here. This whole section. This is a warning of what happens when you push the issue. These two are what actually takes place while you're pushing the issue. You're hanging yourself up. You're throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at those you perceive to be your enemy. Let me give you a this entire spread right here is kind of reminding me of something, and I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't, I want you to see the movie Excalibur. There's one scene in particular. This is a really well put together movie. It's a beautiful movie. A little, it flounders a bit, but it's good still. After Arthur becomes king, he and his men are riding, and they're on his road. But there is this knight who won't quit guarding the bridge. And this is a bridge that they can easily ride around. And he has defeated every one of Arthur's men in single combat. Arthur is incensed, and he goes to the knight and he says, who the hell are you? Why are you blocking my bridge? And he said, my name's Lancelot, and I live under a curse. That curse is I've never been defeated in single combat. So Arthur challenges him. Lancelot accepts, and they joust. Lancelot unhorses Arthur, Then they engage in single one-on-one combat, but Arthur becomes completely unhinged. And that's when Lancelot offers a single line, which this entire spread comes down to today. And it is this: your rage has unbalanced you. You would fight a man to the death. You would fight a man who is not your enemy to the death for a single bridge you could easily ride around. I'm going to pause and let that sink in. Sometimes our passions can become so engulfing that we absolutely, positively go after our opposition with everything we have, and we ruin ourselves in the process. So while the tarot cards are a warning, the rest of them have been a guide. Let me summarize. Do not let your emotions unbalance you. Learn to look at bigger picture, find a little common ground. See if you can't reach across that aisle today. All of you, every one of you, I'm talking to you right now, watching this. I will be doing the same. You know why? Because you watching this right now, while politically or socially, or even in terms of just movies, music, style of clothing, what we think is the best Swiss Army knife, or what we think is the best flavor for vapor products, whether we like blueberries in our oatmeal or nothing at all. That is beside the point. It's beside the point today. Today is Tuesday, named after the god Tyr, or Tew. And he is a god of justice, about balance. And I'm doing the same with you today, because, as always, I love you all. I appreciate you being here. And as I say to everyone who comes along, Starseed, old soul or not, don't dim your light for anyone. And as always, shine on.